What up, people? It's your boy Chig. You are through to the Combat Show. As always, every Friday night, joining me is my partner in crime, Ola. So hello to the people, Ola.
Yeah, we are here. Um, big card to get through. Salute for bringing man in.
No worries, man. Little feedback. Please do
Yeah,
slap a like on this video. You know how we do by now. If you're on Periscope, retweet that. It helps the show get noticed. Put a little hashtag on it, like hashtag UFC 263. Just retweet that for us. If you're on YouTube, just stick a like on the video. It all helps the show get noticed. And you're wondering where Will is, so are we. So give him a nudge. Tell him we're waiting, motherfucker. Where you at? Um, but anyway, we move. We carry on. So yeah, how you been anyway? How's your week been?
bro, it's been a busy week, busy week. Self-tutoring along with your induction and training. Thank you for all the time that you've put in. I know I keep bugging you, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But I'm just glad we're here now. You feel me?
There you go. Yeah. So for those of you who were wondering what I mean by what Ola means by that, um, I think we've mentioned it a couple of times on the show that you're going to see more content throughout the course of this year from us. Up until now, it's always been me quarterbacking or producing the show. None of that will necessarily change unless I have a week off for whatever reason. Maybe I'm ill or maybe injured or something has happened. So it's important for the show to, like the proverbial, the show must go on. And because of that, taught all of the basics of StreamYard. And yeah, hopefully that will continue. Seems to be picking it up quite quickly. It's a wonderful program, StreamYard. Let me tell you something. I don't need to be sponsored to promote StreamYard. StreamYard is one of my legitimately one of my favorite programs, StreamYard. So yeah, so I think even Oliver can see how easy it is to pick up. So yeah, what that will result for you guys is more shows, more shorthand type of shows, different types of material coming onto the show. So
Yeah.
basically, look
Press
out,
conference reactions,
hit the subscribe
um,
if you haven't
current
already.
events, new news, all of that.
So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. New things like that are going on with this. And we're still looking for more. We're still looking to add to our technical team. So yeah, so just keep a lookout. And yeah, you start to see some more new things happening with the channel. Um, but yes, let's talk about last week's show, shall we?
Yeah, yeah. Last week was very eventful. You didn't do bad with your picks, actually. Even your bonuses, you didn't do bad. Um, so
Felt like I
let's
could have done
go
better.
to the, huh?
I felt like I could have done better.
I thought you did as well. There was some banana skins in there, you know what I mean. But you did as well as you could, especially with the bonuses, anyways.
Yeah.
Um, so on the prelims, um, we both got two points on the prelims. Muslim Salikov and Mason Jones. The third one that we didn't get, we both picked the same fighter, Tanabosa, but Will went for Ilya Latifi, and Latifi came up with the victory in that one. So you got 2 points for the prelims. I got 2 points for the prelims, and Will also got 2 points for the prelims. On the main card, um, Tom Breeze that you picked for fight of the night. That fight fell through, but you did choose Dusko Todorovic. and he lost that fight. Um, onto Miguel Baeza and Santiago Ponzinibbio. Um, that was a war. I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. That was a full-on war. And that fight actually got fight of the night. Really, really good fight earlier on in the card. Roman Dolite versus Liarano Starpoli. Roman Dolite got that win there, and yeah, we all went unanimous on that. So we got a point for that. Walt Harris and Marcin Tybura. I think all of us went Marcin Tybura. We didn't think what Harris was going to do. You even made a good point on last week's show. Um, how you felt what Harris might perform in that fight. What did you make of the fight?
Um, yeah, I think it was. It was what it was. I must admit I didn't watch much of it. To really comment on it.
Right,
But
right, right.
I did see the highlights. But yeah, it was kind of was what it was. But yeah,
Yeah, I think.
it was just one of them cards, and it was just one of them cards where you hope it goes quickly so you could move out of the way for something like this week's card. Now, this week's
Yeah,
card, the real card.
I mean they knew what they were doing. I mean, putting this card, last week's fight night card, putting it before this card, because obviously they know this is the one, the big one that everybody is looking forward to. So, but they have to get some contenders out of the way, and they have to put some new names that people might not be really familiar with. So that card is way more for the purists than anything else. But what Harris for me in the first round, I just thought. Um, I mean, the fight ended in the first round, maybe a few seconds to the first round, even I'd say. Um, but what Harris, he didn't learn from the last fight against Volkov. He didn't learn because he just went throwing bombs in the first couple minutes. It was just raining shots on Tabura. I actually thought at one point he might have got him out of there.
Well,
Um,
yeah, I
but
mean, he was ahead, wasn't he? He was.
yeah,
He,
he just rushed him. He was landing, he was throwing bombs, but then 2 minutes in, he was out of gas. And and I thought you did exactly the same thing against Volkov. Like, come on, you can't empty out your gas like that. You did exactly the same thing against Volkov. Um, but look, what Harris is one of those guys that they they're gonna start thinking about it. They're gonna start thinking about it. You can't,
he,
not with a record like that.
he apologized to his coaches today because he said that he knows straight away that he went completely off the game plan, and he should have been unloading like that in the first place. So I don't know, man. Well, I did say it at the start. I think I did last week because I felt like we would lose, and then
Mm.
we would have to have a real serious conversation about whether or not you keep someone with a what is it, 13-10 record now. Um, and I think if it was anyone else with a different situation, they'd be cut
Absolutely.
immediately.
Mm.
So it'll be interesting to see if Dana, you know, shows him a little sympathy and cuts him and doesn't cut him. Be interested to see if that happens.
Absolutely. Um, but Taibura, you gotta give him a lot of credit. Big up Dante in the chat. I mean, he's absolutely spot on. Taibura has weathered the storm quite a few times in his last few fights. Like you said, lets them gas out and then just put it on them. And that's
Yeah,
that's that's exactly what Dante's spot on with that analysis there. And for me, Tabura now has a chance to let everyone know, who he is, because let's be honest, he's got Volkov in front of him, and I'd say Volkov, um, what's Blades? He's got Blades, Derek Lewis, Francis, and Stipe. Those are the people that he's really kind of got in front of him, So um, I think in the end we're gonna be seeing Tabura in the title picture. I really, really think so. And he wants to join. He wants to join Yan. He wants to join Yan up there, the Polish brother. I'm happy. I'm happy for their region. You know what I mean? So let's see what happens. There's still a lot of questions for him to answer, but he's doing well. He's well on his way into that top five and start looking into number one contendership for the title. Um, On to the main event, talking about number one contender, um, Jazinho and Sakai, Augusto Sakai. Another one. This one. I mean, this one ended. It ended early. First round knockout by Biggie Boy. And you said on the last show in the last preview that Biggie Boy, possesses this concussive power. If he catches you, if he touches you, um, and touches you correctly, it's over. What did you make of that knockout there? You there, Chicky?
I'm here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was just saying, what did you make of Biggie Boy's knockout? Because you did mention it in the last show that he has this concussive power, and if he catches you the right way, it's over, and that's exactly what happened with Augusto Sakai.
Exactly what I thought. I think Billy's in a tricky spot, because I don't really know what you do with him at this point. He's almost a
Mm,
gatekeeper to the top five,
mm,
and it's just like, well, what do you do with him? Like, because at some point you're going to need to match him up with the big guy. Like, I would love to see him against someone like a John Jones, and John Jones feels like he's ready to grace us with his presence.
mm.
Um, that I'd find interesting, just to see how John Jones deals with someone who's explosive, especially at heavyweight.
Yeah.
But then I
Um,
suppose that's the reason you don't do the fight because if you're trying to preserve the fight, Biggie's too much of a threat to that. I don't know. It's a tricky one, but he did what I thought he would do.
mm.
Didn't think it would take him as long as 2 rounds to do it, but he did what I thought he would do.
For me, I think is what I think he should be fighting. I think he should be looking at Curtis Blades. Because Blades is just lost to Derek Lewis.
So
Stipe,
that's interesting. I thought I was thinking the same thing. Yes.
because Stipe for me is kind of owed a rematch because he's 1-on-1 with Francis. So he's going to be looking for that rubber match. He wouldn't want any other fight apart from fighting whoever wins between Francis and Derek Lewis. If Francis is indeed going to fight Derek Lewis. But I mean, Derek Lewis is just big Curtis Blades, so Curtis Blades is going to be coming off a loss. And if he wants to get back in that title picture, um, then he's gonna have to fight somebody like Biggie Boy. And if Biggie Boy beats him, then he leapfrogs him. So I think that's probably a fight for like a number 2 and 3 spot, and see where those two actually fits in. And if he doesn't do that, then Volkov is another option. You know,
Mm.
if Volkov is ready, Volkov is another option for Biggie Boy, and then to control and to see who is really the number one contender, because I feel like Volkov is done enough now. He keeps getting going all the way up there, the Russian brother. and I think he's getting there now where they need to start talking to him about title shots as well. So at least, if not title shot, title eliminator, where only one fight gets him a title shot. So I think all those guys are kind of primed to get that title eliminator out of the way and see who's next for title after Stipe. And if John Jones comes back in the picture, I think he leapfrog everybody because of the money fight nature of that he brings to the table. If a lot of people don't think he does, but if when John Jones is fighting, at least if you don't want to see him win, you definitely want to see him lose. So you're still gonna watch. You're definitely still gonna watch. So there's there's a lot of interesting things going on in the heavyweight division of the UFC, and hopefully in the coming pay-per-views we're gonna start having some answers to some of the questions for this title eliminators and how they actually fix these matches together. So whatever news comes up, we're gonna be dropping it on here. So on to this week's prelims. When you're ready, wanna pull up the page. Yeah, big up Diego. Salute to you, brother. And big up everybody watching us on Periscope as well. Salute to you lot. Always showing us love. We appreciate it. There is a lot of fights on this card. It's ridiculous. If you just click on the early prelims real quick, just to see how many is there, like there's so much. Look how many fights there is. And these are big names like Chase Hooper on early prelims. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. We got Carlos Felipe, we got Camacho on the early prelims. It's mad. Matt Frivola. There's some big names on this early prelims. That shows you how stacked this card is. Panic Yanzad. It's a big card. It's a big card. I'm excited to break it down. So let's get on with the tea. Yeah, what was you saying?
It's strange though, isn't it? Because 262 was nothing like this. Nothing.
Yeah, man. I mean, when
it's like they hear that, oh, what, Nate's fighting? Yeah, I want to be on that card.
Exactly. When Nate's in the house, people are getting paid. So a lot of people must have angled. A lot of managers must have angled to get their fighters on this card. It's a good card. Everybody can see it. At that, it's a nice card. It's one of the best looking cards that we've had all year, and we've had some very, very good cards. So, should we start with Evloev and Hakim Dawodu, or you want to start with Panic Yanzad? No, that's early prelims. You're on.
No. What do you want to start with?
Yeah, let's just do prelims and the main card.
All right. Well,
let's take it from let's take it from there.
Okay. You want to do them all, yeah?
Okay. Yeah, let's start with this one because there's only 4 fights on this, so we might as well do them all.
Right.
So we've got Hakim Dawodu and Evloev, Musa Evloev. This is at 145. Evloev is undefeated. He's coming in at 14-0, and on a 4-fight win streak, 27. And his last win was against Nick Lentz. We got Hakim Dawodu. His last win was against Tugaov, and he's 12-1 on a 5-fight win streak. So
should we say this now? This is going to be my fight of the night. let's put that out there right now.
Yeah, all right.
See, well, this is what you miss when you miss these shows, these little conversations.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be wild. This one. I mean, both for this guy. I mean, Hakim Dawood is coming in a 5-fight win streak. Evloev 4-fight win streak. So these guys have been on a mad streak, and so one of them is gonna lose their streak. For me, I have to go with Dawodu. Um I think it's a toss up, but I have to go with Dawodu. I have to go with Dawodu on this. Can't hear you.
I'm gonna go with everyone else.
You're going with Evloev, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right. On to the next one. Right. This one here is a bit of it's got a backstory to it. This one. We got Lauren Murphy versus Jojo Calderwood. Calderwood coming off a win against Jessica I, and Lauren coming off a win against Shakarova. Um, Lauren is on a 4-fight win streak herself. Jojo Calderwood was on a nice little streak, but she was scheduled to fight Shevchenko. And when Shevchenko couldn't make that fight, she took another fight. Instead of waiting for Shevchenko, she fought Maya. Right? When she fought Maya, she lost that fight, didn't she? So she's had to go back a little bit to the back of the queue and try and get, a title eliminator fight again with Lauren Murphy, because a lot of people are starting to look at Lauren Murphy for Shevchenko to be next. If she beats Jojo, she's definitely next for Shevchenko. And if Cardo wins, we know, because she was already scheduled to fight Shevchenko, she's going to be next. So having said all of that, I'm gonna go with Lauren Murphy.
Exactly, because I was going to say the same thing after a little speech.
Yeah, just wanted to bring to light that little backstory that was there for Jojo Calderwood, and how she ended up, finding herself in this elimination fight. Okay, so the next one up, Darren Stewart and Eric Anders. So this fight here, again, a little bit of backstory to this one. They're both fighting at 185 this time. It happened at 170 last time. 185 this time. Eric Anders 34, Darren Stewart 30, 12-6 Darren Stewart, 13-5 Eric Anders. But this fight was a no contest the last time they fought. Eric Anders came with the illegal knee, and Darren Stewart said he couldn't continue. Took a leaf out of Aljo's book, and so he was getting his ass handed to him as well. So they deemed it a no contest. They put it back together. Both of these guys are now fighting, and but they're fighting at a different weight class now. They're doing at 185, and I feel like this favors Eric Anders way more than Darren Stewart, and I just think he just You know, I don't know what's going on. Um, I'm gonna go with Eric Anders.
No, I'm going with Anders as well. Um, yeah, no, yeah, no other reason. I'm going with Anders as well.
Okay.
Fake Leon over here.
All right. And yeah, we got Brad Riddle and Drew Dober. Now this is happening at 155. Brad, 29 years old. Drew Dober, 32. Last loss. Drew Dober's coming off a loss against we know who, Islam Makachev, Khabib's boy. Um, and Brad is coming off a win against Da Silva. So this is a very interesting fight. Da Silva had a fight the other week, and that brother's got you've got to be really good to put that brother away, and Brad did that. Brad is 9-1. Drew Dober coming in at 23-10. And Brad is on a 3-fight win streak. And like I said, for Brad um to get Da Silva out there like that, I think I have to go with Brad here. I have to. I can't. I cannot go with Brad. I have to go with Brad. I need CKB, so definitely going with Brad there. Where you going?
Sorry. So if I go quiet from time to time, my
Yeah,
audio is playing up. So you're just gonna have to
right,
repeat
right,
it.
right. Yeah. So Brad and Drudoba, 23-10 for Drudoba, coming off a loss against Makachev, and Brad coming off a win against Da Silva. Brad's 9-1, and Drudoba's 23-10. I've gone with Brad.
Yeah,
Where you
I'm going
going?
with Brad as well. I know a little bit of backstory about this. I know that Drew was calling people out, mainly because I think I don't know, he was looking for a fight. He was calling people out, and Brad just said, "All right, cool. Well, I'll fight you." Put his hand up for it. So that's how this fight more or less came together. Um, and yeah, I think Brad is eager to just move on because the last fight he had, he lost, right? My
No, well, Brad, no. He's coming off a win against Da Silva. A very,
okay.
very tough guy.
Yeah, so I think he's just eager to start rolling through the division. So yeah, in Israel's camp, Mr. Riddle.
CKB, yeah.
I'm expecting him to win this fight. I'm going for Brad.
Big up Jolinton and Jolinton. Did I just call my man Jolinton? Julian Hunt. Salute to you. I just call my man Jolinton. You know what? I might just leave it at Jolinton. I think I like that one there, but I like that one there. He got me. He got me. He said he hit different when I say Jolinton like that. Big up to you. My man saying love to you, Chig. Hope you're doing well. Did we both watch the press conference? Vettori was mental. We was talking about this off air. We was talking about this off air, and yeah, the press conference. If you haven't seen it, please go and watch the press conference. The press conference was
I've
crazy.
got a lot to say about the press conference and the fights, those main event fights. I'll talk about that in a second.
Okay, so onto the main card.
Okay.
Right, Paul Craig um, fighting against Jamal Hill. Jamal is 8-0 coming into this, and he beat my guy OSP. That fight hurt me. I was hurt. I was hurt by that fight there. You feel me? Paul Craig 14-4, 1-0 contest, coming off a win against Shogun Rua. These guys are, one is a ground specialist, and the other one is a knockout artist. Um, and they just put work in, man. These guys put serious work in. Um, I like Hill. I like Hill. You know, but having said all of that, I'm gonna go with my guy Paul Craig. Paul Craig always kind of pull it out for me when I really need him to, and he's been working a lot on a few things like Corey Anderson. What I see Corey Anderson doing at in Bellator. So I love what Paul Craig is doing. All the nuances of his work. I'm looking at it and it looks good. So I'm gonna go with Paul Craig here.
I
First round
must admit,
submission.
I don't normally go against the undefeated guy, but I'm with you. I'm also going for Craig. I know that they've had a little run in earlier this week already.
Mm,
We watched the embedded, um,
yep.
and that was interesting. But I just like Paul Craig's energy at the moment. It's very positive, very confident. You can tell that he's just started to come into his own lane a little bit. That's just even though I think this Jamal Hill is clearly very talented at 8-0. To just there are certain things that that my gut feeling is. I wonder if you're quite a raw 8-0 though, or are you a really good 8-0?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think we'll find out in time.
I mean, I,
This is a good fight
I,
for both. For both
yeah.
guys, we're going to see what they're about. I think for Paul Craig, this would be a good opportunity to see how he deals with a young, ambitious, uh, hot prospect. Can he deal with that? Does he belong in the top 15 rankings as he is at the moment? And then for Jamal Hill, this is the level that he aspires to be at. You know, and what an opportunity to take out someone who is above him in the rankings, albeit just about above him.
Mm.
So yeah, I think we're going to see if they are essentially the real deal. But for some reason, I never normally go against the undefeated guy, but I just got a feeling Paul Craig will win that fight. So yeah, I'll go Paul Craig.
Oh, Will just messaged me to say what's going on. I don't know whether he got the link, whether he didn't get the link. I don't know. Um, I have no idea what's going on with him.
But where did you pick it up from?
No, just come straight into the studio.
Did you pick it up from? Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
didn't need a link. Obviously, you gave me the keys.
Okay, but even so, what they're taking this long to message us. What
I can't hear you.
is it?
So you just faded away there.
It's taking him this long to message us.
Yeah, I just seen the message fly through. Okay. Um, on to the next one. Let's go on the
Okay.
next one.
I didn't even know this fight had been made until yesterday.
I'm loving this fight.
I wasn't even
This fight.
aware that like my man was on the card, but I was on the card. I had no
Mm,
idea.
yeah. My boy, Bully Boy, 170, Belal Mohammed, coming off a win against Diego Lima, whose brother's fighting tonight. Go and check it out on Bellator when this show's done. He's defending his title tonight. And MVP is going to be watching very, very closely. And that brother knocked out MVP. Like, he knocked him into space. But Diego Lima, Belal Mohammed coming off a win against Diego Lima, 18-3. Damian Maya lost to Burns, 28-10. But Damian Maya 43. Belal coming in at 32. Obviously, he had that fight there with Leon Edwards. That fight did not finish, so he didn't go on their record. Like a no contest. He didn't even go down as a no contest. So um, it's mad that he's now fighting on the same card as Leon. So it's always crazy how things align themselves. But for me, I think I have to go with Belal Mohammed here. I have to go with Belal Mohammed.
Same. I've never really picked Damian Maya in any fight, to be fair. Although I did pick him to beat Askren.
You picked it to be Askren. I was just gonna say.
I did pick him, but then at that point, I thought Askren was finished as a fighter. But I think this is probably his last hurrah.
I don't think me and Dante want to hear the name Askren again on any show.
So I am. Yes, I'm gonna. Yeah, for me, I'm gonna stick with Bilal for that one.
Wow, we got a couple man them going for Maya win and retire. Maya wins and retires.
You know what? I love Bilal. I would love it if Maya won, because that means you'll get the record. The record wins, and then he could just bounce into the sunset.
Mm.
So
yeah, he's standing in front of a very, very tough, hungry boy. So I don't know how he's gonna pull that one off.
I don't see it. I mean, unless Bilal gets overzealous and makes a mistake,
he doesn't want to go down there with him.
The way you make a mistake against Maya is if you allow him anywhere near holding you onto the floor. As long as he doesn't do that, then he should be fine. So yeah, I see Bilal only winning this fight.
Mm. Okay, on to the next card. Moving up the card.
The people's
we have my boy Nate and Leon Rocky Edwards. This one here, obviously we know Leon is coming off that no contest fight with Belal, and Nate is coming off a loss against Masvidal. 18-3 for Leon Edwards, 21-12 for Nate. I mean, when I saw both of them on the stare down press conference, how big Leon is. He's a big 170. Like he's large. That brother is large. You know what I mean? And
he's a big boy. He does well.
Yeah.
To 170.
Yeah, and I think
6'2". He does very well to get to 170.
That's right. So I think he's gonna use his weight. He's gonna push his weight around in the cage. I think he's just gonna rough up Nate, try and keep it off the ground. And I think if he wants to go on the ground as well, I don't think his jiu-jitsu is that bad, not to be able to wrangle and scramble up with Nate. On the ground.
That's what he's been drilling and training. So they've shown a couple of embeddeds with him in this week, and that you can tell that's what they're drilling with Leon at the moment, is scrambling off the floor, just in case.
He's got to be able to pull out some scrambles.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, I can see why people love the aura of Nate Diaz, but when you are being serious and you strip away the bullshit, you strip away the aura stuff, the smoking the weed in press conference.
You gotta love that guy, man.
He exudes cool. I get that. But when we're talking about him and assessing him in fights and fights that he can and can't win, I just don't see any in any circumstance he beats Leon Edwards. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Me neither. And I love Nate. Like Nate's my boy. But I just can't see it. I can't see it. It's difficult to see. You know. It's almost like the guys are saying in the saying in the chat. It's almost like if you poked in the eye, you can't see it. Um, bro, I don't see a path for Nate to beat Leon, but they said they asked for 5 rounds. You know, and that's almost a difference maker. At least for Nate, maybe in the later rounds they could pick it up because he knows he's a slow starter himself. Um, but uh, I don't see it getting out of the first 2 rounds. I think Rocky is coming there to destroy him. He wants to make an example out of him. He's hungry, elbows, slicing elbows. I mean, all them scar tissues, man. Like, bro, I don't know, man. It's gonna be crazy. But I'm going with Leon. I don't see no pathway for it. It's gonna be unless Leon makes a silly, crazy mistake. You know, that's the only way. The same thing we're saying for Belal with Demian Maya. Unless it makes a mad mistake and goes into a DAS or anaconda choke or rear naked choke. Um, that's the only way Nate is probably going to get a victory here. I don't see him putting more volume than Leon. I don't see him doing more damage than Leon. I don't see him, um, you know, eh, even the heavy shots, the kicks. I don't see none of that than doing it more than Leon. So unless it catches him on the ground, that's where I see some success for Nate. So yeah, and you're picking Leon as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I can't. I just can't see any other type of result really. So yeah, it is what it is. What do you guys think in the chat? Those watching this, let us know. You guys have been active and participating. Please continue doing that. Hit the like if you haven't already. That's all we ask you guys to do. And hopefully you guys have already subscribed if you haven't already. As we go through to the co-main event, which is
Right. This fight is happening at 125. Um, Davison Figueredo and Brandon Moreno. 18-5 and 20-1 for Figueredo. This fight is also a rematch. Now we've had there's a few rematches on this card, isn't it? You know what I mean? There's quite a few rematches on here. So this is another rematch with Brandon Moreno and Figueredo. Both of them winning on a draw. We saw that, to me, that's probably fight of the year. Um, as far as I'm concerned, anyways, the way the way that fight. I mean, to get a draw in a fight like that, and both of these guys were throwing bombs. They were swinging. The scrambles was crazy when they went to the ground. They brought it back to the feet, and they just threw some more bombs. Um, how are you seeing this fight?
um oh so
And I know
purely
you like the champion.
purely on the basis of the fight, I thought Davidson Figueroa. I think he's too big, too strong, hits too much. And if he was under the weather and if he was if something did affect him last time, I thought he was unlucky not to win it the first time. But then what I don't like is how angry he is. I don't like how angry he is. I don't, and it seems to be this same manager that likes his fighters angry all the time and likes them screaming and shouting, and he's so unnecessarily angry for what I'm not even sure what he's so angry at uh, at uh, Brandon about. Just doesn't make any sense. Like the way he pushed him at the face off, I was just like, why? Though? Why do you hate him so badly? Um,
I have a
and
theory for that.
and I wonder if that will maybe you're right. Maybe he fed off his energy, Vettori's energy. But um, I feel like for me, that's the only thing I could see him that I can see stopping him from winning this fight. As if his head is completely gone and he loses it. And I think Brandon Moreno seems like a smart fighter. He's got that Mexican chin,
Oh yeah.
which seems to be helping him a lot. And yeah, I just think he'll be smart enough to avoid him and pick him off. So, in spite of my first pick, I'm gonna go Moreno. I actually
Mm.
think he might upset the apple cart and win the title here. Just because I don't like how angry Figueroa is. I don't like it. I don't like it. So it kind of just made me change my mind completely. And I picked Figueroa. I think if it's just based on the fight, Figueroa. But because I don't think it's any longer just based on the fight, Moreno will win this fight.
Yeah, that's a very, very interesting angle that you've brought in there. But on how hungry he got, I have a little theory on it. I'm looking at it, I'm watching the press conference now, and the drama's going on between Easy, Vettori, like you said, fed off the energy because them two are throwing it. But he can't speak English, you know, and he's having to wait for the interpreter to put across what he's trying to say. And then when he tries to say he's going to knock him out, it didn't really come off the tongue like it didn't roll off the tongue like that. You get me? So I think to make up for that, he had to bring some kind of a little bit of drama to if you can't do it on while they're talking, he can do it in action when they got to the stare down. And I think that's why he shoved him. Um, and despite my last pick, I'm gonna go with the champion to retain his title here. Um, I think he's a very very ambitious champion. He's a good champion, very very strong. He's strong for that weight class. Um, and Moreno, I love Moreno. I picked Moreno the last time. I know how much of a tough guy he is, um, and I just think he's got all the tools to be a fantastic champion. Um, but Figueredo, I just think he might have just that little bit too much for him. So I'm gonna go with Figueredo this time.
Um, yeah, I think that I don't necessarily disagree with you because you could see that he was getting more visibly uncomfortable as that press conference went on and
Because
on and on.
Moreno was replying back in English, you know what I mean? Talking about the Texas crowd, love him. He's fought there various times and everybody knows him down there. So he was already endearing himself. Figueredo had to do something because he can't really talk to the crowd like that. So he had to bring something to the table. And if he couldn't do it with vocals, he had to do it through action. And that's why I think that's my theory. I could be wrong. He could just be getting hot-headed like Aldo did against Connor and find himself in trouble. So, but
No,
I'm
see,
just hoping that's the reason why why that happened.
no, Dante, I won't have a bet on that one because I am betting against my own gut feeling. It's just I'm betting it on it with logic because Like I say, I picked Davison Figueroa last time. I picked him
Dante
pretty.
beat me to it, you know. I was going to come back to that still, you feel me?
But
Yeah, salute to Dante. Dante's been reading man's mind. He's been hanging around us for a minute, man. He knows how we think around here, so he got there first.
so yeah, I think I have an idea of why I've done what I've done, but I wouldn't. I'm not so confident or deluded that I would bet on it automatically without. I wouldn't bet. I don't think I would confidently bet on it. But yeah, I think I'm not too far away from my guess. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Listen, who knows? Maybe in the first round he does him. This is all
How about
academic.
this? How about this? Let me throw a little spanner in there. I'll take that bet, Dante. How about that? Yeah? You won that bet, you got a score bet. I'll take that bet.
Interesting. There you go. There you go, Dante. There you go.
I, I do believe in Moreno. I do believe in Moreno, but I just think it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. It's not a wide open thing, you know.
I just don't like. I don't like the way he fights. I don't like the way how angry he fights. And even the first fight, he fought angry. And then basically when the tank went, then that's when Moreno started putting it on him. If he does that shit again, I think Moreno will be cleverer this time, and he'll use his smarts this time. And
And
I just think I think out of the two, Dana would love it if Moreno can do it because let's
oh
let's
yeah,
just, let's just call a spade a spade here.
absolutely.
Moreno speaks English. The other one doesn't. And I think if I am managing a UFC fighter, I know it's a bit racist, and I know it's unfair, and the world is some bullshit. But unless you can speak English, you are fucked. You are fucked.
Gotta try at least learn it.
You're fucked. You're fucked. Straight up. You ain't gonna be a star unless you can speak English. I don't say that about anyone in combat sport. Just think about it. Who the heck? Who the heck doesn't speak English that people care about? Why
Yeah,
do you think?
I mean,
Why do you think that they made such a big deal initially about what's that Chinese girl? A girl's name,
Whaley.
and they started making a feature of her learning English
Learning English.
because they know unless you can speak English, you are a star because you can communicate with people. Even if you're shit at the bed, you can communicate with people. That's why Moreno, for me, he came across the best in that press conference yesterday. He was
Mm.
fantastic. He made me like him more. He
I
made
like
me
it. Yeah.
want to win.
Mm.
And I couldn't care. I could have cared less before that. But he made me like him more and want him to win purely because he was smiley, he was charming, he didn't
Bro,
engage in the bullshit.
you should have seen him in the Ultimate Fighter house, man. Like the brother's down to earth, man. He's not. He's when he says he's not that guy that chat shit or trash talk. He didn't do none of that in the house. Where if you go back and watch him on Tough, very very likable guy. I've liked his work ethic is crazy. Um, tough fighter. He's got heart for days. So it's gonna be a very very interesting fight. Very interesting fight.
There you go. My man accepts your challenge. Um, yeah, I'd love him to win. I picked him for him to win. So we'll see if he wins. But yeah, I don't know what's going now. And then finally, the main event, which is, as you very well know, Israel Adesanya versus Marvin Vettori.
Yeah. Easy 20-1. He's got that one on his record now. He don't even it's not even nice mentioning that one, but it's a very, very good win for Jan Blachowicz. Very respectful champion. He's been through his ups and downs in the UFC, and he defended his title well against Stylebender. Vettori 17-4, and is on a 4-5 fight win streak. You know, and his last loss was against Israel 3 years ago. Just like how long it took Francis to get back in front of Stipe. It took him 3 years as well from when he last lost that fight to get back in front of Stipe. And this is exactly what Vettori has been doing. He's just been winning, winning, winning. He ain't lost a fight since he lost to Easy. Um, and both of them obviously brought a very, very interesting point. We know how wrestling heavy Vettori is. Um, he's, he's a guy that's going to ask a lot of questions because in his mind, he's got more than a blueprint. He's been in there with Easy before, and it came down to a split decision. A lot of people still argue it shouldn't have been a split decision because they felt Easy won that. Um, he thinks he won it because obviously one judge gave him the fight. Um, so how do you see this playing out with the whole drama and everything that's engulfed in it and the build up? Even watching Embedded and when them two cross paths and shook hands.
For me, I talked about this off air a little bit. I saw this being a difficult fight for Izzy going into this weekend because they haven't really talked that much shit until maybe the last week and a half to 10 days ago, if you recognize that. So, I think for me, I just, going into the fight, I thought it would be a tricky fight for Izzy. I thought, Vettori is tough. He comes forward. He's a wrestler. He swings a lot. And it's just a pressure fighter. And although Izzy is a counter puncher, I thought it would be trickier than needed. And also, it was the first time we saw Izzy got taken down by multiple um, takedown artists. So because of it, I think a lot of things surprised him going into the weigh-ins. But I think once the weigh-ins were over, um, you know, I think he recognized that actually to get myself up for this fight, I need to wind this motherfucker up. And he wound him up. Must have wound him up a good 3-4 times. Because I tell you what, by that whole time, fuck off. Get the fuck out of bed. So I think in my personal opinion, the press conference did a lot to motivate Izzy, and I think for that reason he'll win this fight and win it reasonably comfortably. So I'm going to say Izzy, but I do see him being in trouble. Maybe a round. I could see this being maybe a 3-4, 4-1, 3-1, that type of thing, round wise. But I could see a round where Izzy struggles. But I can see it going to points. I can't see my man getting knocked out.
Okay. I agree with a lot of the points that you put down. I don't. This is hard for me because Vettori is MMA, is dominance MMA. You feel me? It's in the stable. This one here is hard for me, man. But I actually see Easy knocking him out in the fourth. I think Easy's gonna knock him out. I think from what he said, and he's been saying this since Usman put Masvidal away and start lapping people. and I think he wants to put an exclamation mark on this one. And like you said, the only reason Vettori is going on like he won the last fight is because he didn't finish him. This time he wants to, and I think he's going to do it. I think it's going to happen in the third or fourth. So I'm going with Stylebender. I think he's good. I think he's gonna knock him out. Uh, the referee is gonna have to. I don't think it'll be like a one punch knockout, but he's just gonna he's gonna wobble him to the point where he just rain shots on him and the ref will pull him off. So yeah, TKO third or fourth round.
I'm always curious as well when people take victory in somebody else's failure, i.e.,
Mm.
oh well, you never finished me last time, so that's make. But okay, cool. You never won the fight though.
Mm.
It's not like you beat Izzy. You didn't beat Izzy. So
You didn't.
why is your best claim to fame the fact that essentially you brought Izzy the closest to a defeat at middleweight? All right, so what do you fucking do? But as far I rewatched
I,
that fight.
I don't even I don't even think he did that. I think Gastelum did that. I
I,
think Gastelum brought easy
Really not. I was about to
and
say the
you
same thing.
mentioned and you
I was about to
mentioned
say
it
the
you
same
mentioned
thing.
it off air. We talked
I was
about it
about
off
to say,
air.
I was about to say the same thing. For me, I rewatched that fight yesterday, right? Um, I actually thought to myself, you know what? He's pushed him a little bit, but he's not to the point where I ever thought Izzy would lose. The Gastron fight, I actually thought, fuck me, there's a real chance that Izzy would lose.
Easy was
But
ready to die, not just lose.
what I liked about Izzy is Izzy did some shit that I would do in that situation, where I would say, you have to kill me today. You have to kill me today. That's the only way I'm losing this fight. You have to kill me today. If it's a choice between losing and dying, I guess I'm dying today.
Mm.
And it's some psychotic shit, but I
That's
know that
that.
shit. I know that shit's in me. I know it's in me. I know if I get to ever a point where I'm on that kind of parapet, where I'm saying some shit like that, you best believe I mean it and get out of the way. Whatever it is, just get out of the way because I mean it. Clearly, something that's driven me to the point where I'm saying some wild shit like that. So I think to myself with Izzy, uh, that was one fight where I watched it and I was genuinely scared. And then when he started saying some shit like that, I knew he had it. I knew he had it. I thought there's no way he's knocking him out in the fifth. After you say some shit like that, you ain't getting knocked out. That's a
Yeah,
different level of psycho when you could tap into something like that.
yeah, bro. For me, I just think it's look, Vettori. Let's get this straight. Vettori has a very, very good chance of running this wrestling game plan on easy and pulling it off. He's got a good chance of doing that because up until the Kevin Holland fight, Vettori had 11 takedowns in 3 years. Up until the Kevin Holland fight, he had 11 takedowns. Now he's got 22 takedowns. He had 11 takedowns again in one fight against, as much as he's had it in 3 years, he had it against Kevin Holland. He took him down 11 times. That was almost like a warm up fight to easy.
Mm.
And then you start looking at it and you're thinking, God damn, um, this brother here, this is the game plan. This is the game plan here. And we've seen Yan do it. He's been in the octagon with Easy. He knows how Easy feels. And he just went 5 rounds with Kevin Holland, took him down 11 times, just ragdolled him.
But my question to you, and we saw it against Kevin Holland. It was almost as though he decided to show what he'll do to Kevin Holland, through sorry, what he'll do to Izzy through Kevin Holland. Right? Do you think that Yan has left the blueprint open?
Yeah, yeah. It's about who can do it in
Interesting. So you
at
think you feel
185.
the Yan has shown how to beat Izzy? Is what I'm essentially
Yeah, he laid down a blueprint, but the problem is this, and this is what I said at the time, that everybody's going to see this and then they're going to think they can do that to Easy at 185. The difference is Yan is a much bigger man than this man's. Like Easy walks around at 195, 197. Yan is a 230 walk around. He cuts weight to 205. By the time he fills back up, eats some food, rehydrates himself, he's getting to 220, 225. And
Mm.
Easy's coming in at 200 at a push. That's 20 pounds. So when 20 pounds is taking you down, there's you your resistance is not that hard, than somebody that's in your weight class. And that's without seeing that's going to be a problem moving forward for Easy. He has a lot of work to do. He has to bulk up like John Jones is trying to do. John Jones is saying it's going to take him another year to get to the real size that he really wants to get to be able to compete at heavyweight. It didn't take DC that long, but even OSP, he jumped right in there. Um, Gustafsson did the same, jump right in there, came back down. So I don't know why it's taking John Jones a whole year, but I think he probably saw what happened with Izzy and he knows these guys are the heavyweight. They no joke. So I guess he's taking it seriously. But if everybody's looking at that at 205 and what happened at 205 and how easily Jean did it, and they think they can come and do the same at 185, I feel like they're going to meet a little bit more resistance at 185 than they do at 205 because it's a 20-pound jump. It's not like a 145 jumping to 155 or 125 jumping to 135. That's a 10 pound difference that you can still kind of manipulate. But you can't be giving up 20 pounds from 185 to 205, and you know it's a lot to give up. Um, so that's my angle on it, on why that blueprint is going to be harder. Is going to be harder for people to pull off at 185 than it was for Yan at 205. And let's not forget, Yan is not just a 205er; he's the 205 king. So he's the champion, he's the best in that division at this current moment in time. So when you look at it, it's not a bad loss for Easy, considering when you put everything back when you put everything together. But you know, it might sound like I'm making, I don't know, a get out for him. But when I looked at the fight, those were the nuances that I feel like it cost him, and I don't think it's going to be that easy to execute the same blueprint at 185. I just think they're going to meet, a little bit more resistance. It's not like people haven't been trying to take Easy down at 185, and he's got one of the highest takedown defense at 185. So it's not like they haven't tried. They did try, they just couldn't pull it off. Bronson tried. God knows Bronson tried. And we see how easy it was for him to take down Kevin Holland. Just ragdolled him.
okay. Well, that's that. I guess we're going to go to the bonuses now, right?
Yeah. So you've already got one bonus down. Your fight of the night, Hakim Dawodu and Evloev.
Yep.
Do you want to revise it
My
or you're
other
good?
my other fight tonight is going to be Izzy Vettori. Just keep it nice and simple.
Oh, so you're going to fight of the night, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. My bonus. Uh, I'm going with Moreno and Figueredo for fight of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going with Paul Craig for performance of the night.
Mhm.
No, actually, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Easy. I'm going with Easy for performance of the night.
Mhm.
But I think Paul Craig could be in and amongst it. That's not a bad call from Dante. Um, for fight of the night, Doba versus Brad. That's a good call. Very good call. So
All right.
we'll see how this all plays out.
Is there any news you want us to touch on?
Um, no, I think we covered it all. I think we covered it all. Um,
Mm.
oh yeah, Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shield, the boxer.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she had her MMA debut yesterday. She
What
won.
about? Uh, she's doing well. She's not rushing into it. She's taking her time, learning the basics before then stepping into a real, uh, you know, stepping into a real fight. And I think the MMA fans are respecting her for it. So yeah, it's going to take her forever to learn, but she's clearly good now. So I don't, yeah, because I think she's clearly having fun. I did listen to her interview like just 3 days ago, 4 days ago. Yeah.
I mean, even with that win, she's a world apart from where she wants to be and the person she wants to fight. You know, for me, if she's really taking this seriously, I'll give her Misha Tate. Misha Tate's been out of the octagon for 5 years, um, and she's just back in the gym training. She needs a tune-up fight, and she just wants to see if she can still do it. And I think this could be the fight. She's a former champion. She's a big name, and she ain't been in there for such a long time. So if Clarissa Shields really want to test herself, um, this might not be a bad fight to take on. What do you think about that?
Say that very last bit again.
Yeah, so I mean, she's nowhere near ready to go and see someone like Amanda. Nowhere near ready, and that's where
And
she
she
wants. That's where she
recognizes
wants to
that.
be.
No, she recognizes that. The last
Yeah,
interview I heard of her, she recognizes she's not on that level yet, but she's on that level of money. And that's why she said she would take the fight now. She says
mm.
that actually what she hopes is that she continues to learn, continues to develop. She's
Yeah.
at
She needs
Jackson
a
Gym.
year.
So, she'll be in a position where she's 26. There's no hurry. There's no hurry. So, at the age of 26, I say let her carry on. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. This thing is possible because people don't realize. Like, look at someone like Francis. He's only been fighting 5 years, like 5 6 years. Rob Font, we saw him the other day. Peter delivery driver, only been fighting for 3 years. We weren't really doing this sport before. He just thought, boy, the better way to make money, and people can learn it and be really really good at it if they really want to, and just honing certain skills that they feel they got. So I wouldn't put it past her to get out to get there fast. Um, it's just the person she's fighting. It's formidable opponent. The person she really wants to fight, shall I say? Very very. You can't just walk in there with Amanda and not know what you're doing. You're gonna get murdered. So yeah.
Okay. Was there anything else? What's on your mind?
Yeah, like I said, Diego Lima is fighting tonight, defending his title on Bellator tonight against Amorov. I think the brother's name is Amorov. I can't remember his name properly. And hopefully, if he does win this fight, then he sets up for MVP to get back in there with him. And MVP has won every fight again since the lost to Douglas Lima. So, we'll see how it goes. Um, and that fight's happening from 11 o'clock. I think the prelims kick off at 11 o'clock on BBC iPlayer. So if you guys if you guys are watching it, I'm gonna be online. So come and engage with me, and we enjoy the fights together.
There you go. There's an offer you can't refuse. Um, all right then. Well, I guess unless there's any other news that you want to bring up, I think we'll.
Yeah, Dante has just asked if we're doing a watch along for this fight. I'm thinking about doing it tomorrow. So if Chig is free, we can put it together. I'm gonna have some guests over, but uh, you know, we just do a quick, even if it's from the Leon Edwards fight, and we can do it from then on um onto the main event. So we just do the free fights. So we're gonna talk about it off air, and then we'll put it out there. We'll put a message out there for you guys um for tomorrow night.
There you go. All right. Okay. Well, I guess. Do you ever do a watch along over the fights, Ola and Shig? Listen, I've been trying to get my man to do a watch along for the fights all
Yeah,
the time.
he has. That's no word of a lie. It's just I usually always have like 5, 6, 7 men coming to watch a fight with, man. You know what I mean? So it's never really quiet for a show, if you like. When you're doing the watch along. But it is what it is. Some of my friends are gonna be here, but we're gonna do it for the Leon, Figueredo, and Starbender fight. Okay, I think that covers everything. I'm gonna take Will's pick off of him via WhatsApp, and I'll put it in the book, and then we're gonna come back next week and own our picks.
You handed over to me. Sorry, my audio, man. Fucking hell. I need to look into this. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. I know I've dived in and out all show. My audio has been terrible today. But I hope you guys are well. Slam a like on the video, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and personally get stats. Um, I've got a whole room to myself to watch the fights with. So yeah, if these lot are on, we may just pop on. Who knows? May just switch the camera on and turn it around, and I might be able to slide on. Um, uh, Normally when these fights are on, I either sleep or
Mm.
there's something going on, or with the boys, or some sort of shit. But tomorrow I'll be available to watch the fight by myself without any issues. So if I'm around, I will do a watch. But in either
Okay,
case, we are out of here. Slap a like on the video, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and we'll be back next week. Take care. Hola.
salute.